But to touch on what Dan said about Gyökeres and what Albert said, it's about time we've got a specialist, because I like specialists. I don't like handymen. You know what I mean? I don't want someone to come in and they're an electrician, but they can also do your plumbing, they can also do your painting. I like specialists that do what they come to do, and you focus on that, and then you go. And this is what Gyökeres is. Gyökeres is a specialist in putting the ball in the net, and we've not had that for a long time. And this is the last piece of the puzzle that we need. He's not focused on battling with the left back. He doesn't care about 30-yard passes. He goes up front and he makes the centre backs battle with the striker. That's what I like. I like the striker.
He's a bully. He's a bully. Yeah.
Yeah. Your centre back should be battling with your striker. I don't care about the centre back battling with the left winger and all that type of stuff, where it gets all technical and intricate. Yeah, we've had that, and you have to have a different level of tactics in a game. But I think right now this team needs the centre forward to be in the box. And that's what we've not had for years. And that's what I like about Gyökeres. Gyökeres, he didn't even want to do his welcome video. You remember his interview and stuff? He didn't even want to sit there and answer the questions. He asked Odegaard, what does he want from Odegaard? I want assists. He's just focused solely on putting the ball in the net and doing what he has to do, and his only job. And his job is to put the ball in the net. And that's all he needs to do. He's not a handyman, he's a specialist. And that's what we need. It's about time that's what we had, to be honest with you.
Oh, I like that saying. It's a specialist.
Yeah, I like
that. I like that. I'll tell you one thing about Eze, just going back to that, what I got out of that, Dan, more than anything, is that I see an Arsenal fan living out his dream, and like, I could relate to it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
that's the thing.
When he was on there, I felt like, that's how I would be if I ever got to play for the Arsenal. It was just a wonderful thing to see. And
I remember that before, Judges. I think you and Russ said it. I don't remember it. Like,
I don't remember anybody coming on the pitch and
that kind of.
I can't.
It's his backstory, isn't it? His backstory helps. You know, he's English as well. You know, we've got a good core of English players now, which is great.
Yeah.
And he's a South East Londoner like myself, so of course it goes in hand in hand.
There you go.
you think as well, Lee, right?
You married him, Albert.
Well, I was thinking yesterday that I actually did notice, and it's something I've been crying out for a long time now, is using your squad. And I actually felt like without Eze even, forget about that. Havertz is obviously injured. We've got Saka and Odegaard that got a knock. I think last season we would have been like, oh, what do we do? Does Sterling have to come on? Or maybe if Reece Nelson was still there or Fabio Vieira was still there. Now we've actually got Ethan. I thought he'd come on and made us better with Odegaard getting a knock. Obviously, Max Dowman will come on to in a minute. Come on. And Saka, we've got Noni Madueke. I thought looked much better on the right-hand side than he did on the left, in my opinion. We've got a little bit of squad depth now, Lee, and Arteta is actually trusting these players. Like, I don't think he trusted Nelson, Sterling, Fabi Vieira. I don't think he trusted them. Like, the only one he bloody trusted was Eddie. All the others he never had any faith in, right? So, and we all know Eddie ain't good enough. So I felt yesterday like I didn't look and think, oh no, the injuries are frustrating, and we'll come on to that. But I didn't feel like, shit, now we've got to bring on him. I kind of felt for the first time, actually, Ethan's good. And Max, wow, he's everyone's happy. Do you get what I'm saying, Lee?
Yeah, exactly that. And listen, what I think is important in football at times, and it doesn't get the credit it deserves, is that sometimes when your bench doesn't, when players come on it, it's not weaker or it's weaker. Our bench over, when we've made substitutions, it's got weaker. But what you can argue is that it got even bloody stronger yesterday, like when players coming on. That is an ideal world that you want. You know, you go back to when we won the title and all that. Like we had squad players. If you think about it, and it's a bit harsh to call them squad players, but I will. Was Martin Keown, Ray Parlour, Edu, Will Todd, Carnu. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden, like, you know, you're thinking, hold on a minute. You know what I mean? That's a pretty sound bunch of players there, like, you know. And then like halfway through that season, we brought in, God rest his soul, Reyes. You know what I mean? When in 2003, 2004. So like you think about it, like that's what you need to do. Like I don't want to hear all this. Well, where's he going to play? Where he's going? I don't care. Like 100%. You know what I mean? Like the end of it, like that yesterday proves what you need. Kai Havertz out, Ben White out yesterday, like, you know, and you think to yourself, well, oh, they're good players for the squad and the team and all that. Like, you know, they're going to get in the team or they're going to be on the bench. You know, Timber comes back and proves what a fantastic player he is. And all of a sudden, Mikel's looking on the bench. He ain't got 4 kids on there. Like, no disrespect to him last season. He ain't got those 4 kids that we're never going to get on. I could have done the job that they done last year, just run and stretch and look good. You know what I mean? Like, and we're never going to come on. Never going to come on. But you look on that there. Martinelli didn't even get on yesterday. Kivior didn't even get a kick yesterday. You know, Brazilian international, Poland international. Like, you know, we've got a goalkeeper of quality on the bench. Which, you know, actually when Raya got injured with his shoulder at one stage, I'm not actually panicking and thinking, oh no, get up Raya, like, you know, where we was last season, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so it has improved tremendously well, like, you know, and listen, I thought that's the Mascara, what's his name? Mascara, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's a player he looks, by the way, like, you know what I mean? Like, and he's out of position at right back, you know. So all in all, you know, like, we've done some very, very good business. And Mikel now, and I don't want to put like the pressure on him, like, you know what I mean, but I'm gonna. He's got all the tools now that, you know what I mean, like, let's be honest, Norgard, not even on the bench, great shout. He looked last season, we're 1-0 down against PSG. He's looked on his bench, he hasn't got nothing to really change it. Now you look at it, you know, he's got all these players. Let's just hope that the injuries are not as bad as what we first fear, and they can get back at a time as well, and we can go again. Like, but this is, I'm not going to. The chances are, guys, we're going to go without Saka to Liverpool, but I'm not thinking, oh, that's it, doom and gloom. Like, I'm thinking, right, all it gives, there's someone there. You know, you can even say that Max has got a chance of doing something in that game. Like, that's what you want. That is what you want, and we got it now. Like, you know?
Yeah, look, I was really impressed with a little bit of squad depth. But D, who else shone for you yesterday, man? We've spoken about GYOKERES. Was there anyone else you thought individually that you wanted to mention?
Do you know what? Well, to be honest with you, look, Madueke had a good game. Like, Madueke actually, he didn't. I've been not so critical of him. I've been a little bit like underwhelmed by the signing, but it's starting to make a little bit of sense, that signing now. It's starting. Yeah. He can play across the front line, and a lot of the time we were thinking, 52 million for Madueke or what. That doesn't really matter. The 52 million doesn't actually matter. What actually matters is the fact that when we need him to play, he actually can play, and that's actually what happened yesterday. We actually realized when he moved to the right hand side, we didn't actually miss Saka that much. Madueke playing it actually now helps us. But the actual 2 players that were actually best on the pitch were actually Saliba and Gabriel. They were far and away the best. Obviously, Timber had a brilliant game, but them 2 are far and away the best players on the pitch. Them 2 there are the most consistent defenders, apart from Van Dijk, that you will see that we've had at our club for a long time. I never worry when them 2 are playing. Very rarely are they have a mistake once in a blue moon. Those 2, I've always said, obviously, from young playing football and coaching and stuff like that, I've always said, I don't want to see my centre backs. I do not want my centre backs in the game. My centre backs are in the game. They're having a bad game. These 2 centre backs, you never notice them. You do not notice these guys, and the fact that you don't notice them shows you how good that they are. You don't even know. You don't even remember that they're playing. That's how good Saliba and Gabriel are as a partnership. You don't notice them at all. Other players, you know they're in the game a lot, but I like to not notice my centre backs and goalkeeper. Goalkeepers and centre backs, I like to not notice them, and I think these 2, we've really got to continue to remember how good these 2 really are. Of course, you're going to have standout performances like Timber. Timber's not going to get 2 goals every game and stuff like that. Of course, he had a brilliant game, naturally. But I don't like inconsistencies up, down, 10-5, 10-5, 10-5. I'd rather you be an 8 every single game or a 9 every single game. And Gabriel and Saliba, they are 2 of the best centre-backs I've seen at this club for a long... And they're both still young. Saliba's 23. I haven't seen a 23 or that good as a centre-back. I don't remember any centre-back that good at 23. In all my years of watching football, I've never seen a centre-back at 23 that good. He looks like he's like 34. I don't understand it. Them two are incredible. And Raya as well, he gives them confidence. So them 2 are the ones I wanted to big up.
Yeah, the spine of the team is top draw now. You've got Zubimendi sitting in front, screening in front, which makes it centre.
I actually think Zubimendi had a bad first 30 minutes, though. I actually think he For the first 30 minutes, I actually think he was quite poor. I think he picked it up, but I think we've got he's not. I think we have to get used to the fact that he's not like Partey's a controller of a game. Zubimendi's not quite a controller. He's He's a bit more combative and he helps Declan Rice a lot in terms of getting the ball back because he runs a lot and he does a lot of defensive work. But he's not quite a controller. He's more of a I don't know. He's more of a Jorginho. Like he passes and he kind of. Not controller. I'm not quite Jorginho. I'm not quite sure what he is yet. I think we need a few more games to really understand how he plays. But he's not. Partey's a complete and not a controller of a game. And Zubimendi doesn't really dictate. He helps with the attacking play, but he doesn't control whole matches just yet. So I think.
What did you make of the pair of them like yesterday? Because I thought Rice was really good, but I hear some people say he was poor and he was like bang average. Rice
was outstanding. Rice.
I thought Rice was good, right?
Yeah, I think he was good as well. I think as well, another thing you got to take into account is his corners. The fact that this is training that you work on hours and hours. People always disregard our corners, our set piece FC and stuff like that. You work on this on the training ground for hours and hours. Where the player's gonna go, who's gonna block who for in every single routine. Rice's corner has to be spot on for it to work. It has to be absolutely perfect. And we scored that. We've done it against Man United and we've done it against. And that was the breakthrough in the Leeds game because it was a bit tricky up to that point.
Yeah.
So I think people don't really give you enough credit. To be a specialist at set pieces is a skill in itself. And people don't give you credit for that. That takes a lot of work. And not just on the training ground, in the classroom. Because you've got to look at each individual team and sit down and work hard at it. So I think people need to.
I never see it coming either. I can't lie. I never see it coming with Rice. I thought we got like number 6, and I didn't think he was going to be on our set pieces. Right? You know what I'm saying?
And you know what it is, Dan, as well. People, what they do when it comes to that is it changes the opposition game plan. You now have to defend differently because you can't give us corners. So where before you don't really matter if you give a corner if you're good. Now you have to be like, we can't give Arsenal corners. So your defensive structure has to change because if we get corners now, it's an opportunity to score or put you on a defensive. So I just think we're in a good place. We're in a good place. We just need to just temper it down a bit and remember it was only Leeds. You know what I mean? I think we just need to just take it game by game and focus.
What I love about the corners is that we've got a corner specialist who is outrageously good as well because I did analysis last night, didn't I? And I totally agree with what they were saying. Gabriel is obviously the one that's been scoring a lot from set pieces over the last season, and what he's gone and done, we got to a point where we weren't scoring as much, were we, into the sort of middle to the end of last season, where teams are sort of not figured us out, but we're a little bit more organised with it. But what's good about the set piece coach is that he's gone away and thought, right, okay, how can we change this? And if you watch Gabriel's positioning in the first corner yesterday, it was completely different from what he has been doing on corners at the end of last season. And teams get drawn to him, don't they? Because they have to, because if they don't, and he gets room, he's going to score. But it's funny, I was having a chat with a good friend, Gary Thomas, yesterday. He's a Spurs fan, and he was texting me about, Rice's delivery. And he actually said something that I thought was a little bit crazy at first, but I kind of agree with him. He's up there with the likes of like David Beckham on set piece deliveries, and how he puts it into the box. And I tend to agree with him because it's like 8 times out of 10 that the delivery goes exactly where it's supposed to be, and then obviously the pieces of the puzzle are the boys making the runs where they should be to create the opportunities to score. And I totally agree about set piece specialists. Well, yeah. We are set piece specialists, and there's nothing wrong with that at all because it's part of the game.
I bloody love it. I love it.
I love it.
Oh, I love it.
People,
I don't think people realise how hard it is to work on those things. If you know what I mean, right? Exactly. Just you have to, go through it, like stand around and do everything like that, but move people around, tell them where they've got to go. Then they've got to not forget that sort of thing in a game situation and all that, like. And at the end of the day, I don't care what anybody says. Met Old Trafford last week was rocking, and as soon as we got a corner, there was silence. They worry about it, And yesterday, I know we won 5-0, and we've struggled against teams like Leeds for the last couple of seasons at home. Let's not get that wrong. But it took a set piece to get it started, the ball rolling. Like, you know, if we don't score that set piece, you don't know. And that's the thing. It's a weapon in our armour, and it's a bloody good one, and I love it. Like, you know what I mean? So long.
I think Dee's right. Like, people look at it now and go, "Oh no," you know. And what you've just said at Old Trafford is absolutely right, spot on. And we had the, you know, as you know, Lee, I was away and the commentary was on, and it was like, "Oh, actually, Man United are sounding quite hostile there." The minute we got that corner, they shut up and we scored, and it just went silent. So I think you're absolutely bang on.